Welcome back, everybody! Last time we began a battle with Mr. Phoenix Wright himself because, well, I mean, who better to have as a prosecutor than, Phoenix Wright? And, he's not a prosecutor, obviously. There's no prosecutors on this case, technically. But we can imagine that Phoenix Wright is a prosecutor, even though he's actually not. He's trying to get us to lose, and that's just basically all there is to it. He's standing on the wrong side. He never stands on that side. Why is he standing over there? What the heck, Phoenix? Come on, man. Don't you want to help out Dirk? Do you really think this guy is a stand-up dude? Come on, man. Come on. I swear. Anyway, though, he's telling us that his ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, and we're about to prove that wrong.
Hold it!
It's not true. That object you set down there, is it something of importance to you? It's a name placard. This one here belonged to my grandfather, Abraham Atishon. He had it custom made during his distinguished political career. Breathe. Remember to breathe. See, it says Paul Atishon. Oh, I'm sorry, it says Abe. I forgot. Oops. It's special because it was crafted from the finest Italian plastic. I wasn't aware the Italians were famous for their fine plastic. Well, now you know, Apollo. Now you know. Excuse me. You can touch it if you want. No, I'm fine. Very well, I'll just continue with my testimony. My ancestor was praised as a benevolent ruler, but he was also an eminent politician. And I'll tell you more about that right now. He protected the spirit mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals.
Hold it!
So I take it the relationship with the Fey clan was a close one. A smooth and open line of communication with my entire electorate. That is the Paul Atishon way. Huh? Oh, sorry. I was asking about your ancestor. Huh. Whether it's about me or my ancestor, feel free to ask me anything you'd like. Transparency in government, that's the Paul Atishon way. More like dodging questions, that's the Paul Atishon way. Thanks, I'll be sure to ask when I have something you'll actually answer. As I was saying, the Atishon family protected the Fey spirit mediums back then. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their powers.
Hold it!
Spirit mediums were targets of discrimination. Yeah, some people even treated them like they were monsters. The transformation the mediums underwent when channeling spirits frightened the locals. And there were those who tried to use them. You mean they sought to control the channeling power of the mediums? Speaking of that, in the older games, didn't they used to, kind of just not really notice the change? And they almost kind of just brush it off like nothing even it wasn't even a thing? But I thought we as the player saw them differently. Like every time freaking Mia got channeled, basically. I thought we saw them differently because us as the player need to know that. But I thought the other people didn't necessarily see that. So, I'm confused. Didn't they even react like they were no different than normal? But they were acting different or something? That's the thing I don't really get. I'm confused. But yet, clearly, in this game, they're talking about being able to see the difference. Which I don't think they were really ever implying that in the older games anyway, that you could see it. But I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just being stupid. Maybe everyone in the older games was stupid and they're just like, I don't know what the heck's going on here. Because they don't know what that freaking spirit channeling is, I guess. I don't know. Discriminating against a minority is absolutely despicable. A vote from me is a vote to end discrimination. I vow to root it out wherever it may be. That is my promise to you. He's totally ignoring your questions. It's like you're a moderator. Excuse me. Yes. A moderator. Moderator, political debate. I agree, political debates are definitely a yawn. Yeah, and he only cares about his talking points. As thrilling as your campaign is, can we please get back to your testimony?
As you wish. Now then, as for the crystal of Maya Fey. As thanks, Maya Fey gave the crystal she had specially made as a gift to him. Yeah. Oh god. Oh.
You said she had it made, so then it was made in Japan.
That's right. They say she hired a famous craftsman to make it. And they say it's quite valuable too.
And you were going to take such a priceless family heirloom and just give it to your patron.
That's so typical of you ignorant common types. Making difficult decisions when the chips are down is what being a politician is all about.
But only when it's in the service of your own political career, you mean?
Crystal's testament to my ancestors' remarkable achievements. And furthermore, I am a descendant of the great lord.
So tell me, Mr. Atishon Wimperson, are you famous in Khura'in Village?
You could say that, but I find my popularity to be rather bemusing.
Bemusing?
Yes, my campaign posters keep going missing as soon as I put them up. My avid supporters and female fans are likely taking them home to hang in their bedrooms.
I guess ignorance really is bliss.
Yeah, no kidding. All this only proves my fine lineage. As such, my political power and influence is backed by centuries of history. Man, I'm yawning a lot really early in this episode. I was thinking to myself, man, I'm at basically a new recording session early in the morning, like I usually do. Usually when I record, maybe I'll do like an afternoon recording session, then a before bed recording session. Right now I'm yawning a lot. I was thinking like maybe record 2 or 3 episodes in this session. I definitely think it's gonna be 2, not 3, because I'm yawning a lot really early in this one. So yeah, that's gonna be a thing.
I'm sorry, but is any of that relevant to the issue of the relic's rightful owner?
No, Apollo, what I was talking about was not relevant at all. Oh wait, you're talking to Mr. Atishon. Have you never heard of Kingcraft?
Kingcraft? Is that related to Minecraft by any chance?
It's the art of ruling as a king. My father drilled it into my head from a young age. And one of the precepts states, ruin awaits a ruler who responds to every single issue posed by the masses.
Well, that answered my question about what he meant by the king of his nation. Progress.
Apollo, who is this Maya Fey anyway?
Well, she was the founder of the Khura'in channeling technique.
The plaintiff claims she had the crystal made for his ancestor. That would mean it was made in Japan, right?
Yes, I suppose it would.
Holy macaroni. Alright. As it was praised a benevolent ruler, he protected the spirit mediums and minority back then from the rest of the locals. I thought they weren't minorities, though. Do I have anything like proving otherwise on that? Because I thought they were not minorities, though.
I present to you the photo of my father to prove this wrong. Oh boy.
That would totally make sense. I don't really know. Nothing. I guess none of this stuff has anything, does it? Excuse me. Man, you gotta present a dead body just to prove a point. Like, what? Like, excuse me? Oh, what to do, I don't even know what I'm even doing. Why am I looking at this one specifically? Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. Thanks, Maya Fey gave the crystal she had specifically made as a gift to him. Uh-huh. I'm sitting the Great Lord. Okay. No power and influence is backed by centuries of history? Is there anything proving that you don't have centuries of history? Oh my gosh. I don't really know what to do here. Crystal of Maya Fey was discovered to be missing from the Atishon storehouse. Wait, let me look at that again. Discovered to be missing. So nothing about that even makes sense then. Whew. What to do? What to do? Seems the doctor warded this last night. Uh-huh. I deciphered the patterns, but I've yet to crack the riddle. The opaque crystal orb is the key. How is your research coming along? Indeed. How is your research coming along? I don't know. I really don't know. Some discriminate against them, you see, while others try to abuse their power. There's just nothing really proving anything here. Terrorize national treasure, doctor hid in the ruins before his untimely death. Okay. Picture of his father's not gonna mean anything right now. That is no. I'm charging you with the crime of murdering Dr. Buff, because, you know, yeah, he sucks, man. I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Divine Dragons if it will come to no harm. What to do? What to do? What to do? Research notes on the Song of Ceremony in the box containing the Founder's Orb. Well. Whoa. What if we just said something else? Man, I literally got no idea. Praise the benevolent ruler. He protected the sphere mediums, a minority back then, from the rest of the locals. Some discriminated against them, you see, while others tried to abuse their power. Thanks, Maya Fey gave the crystal she had specifically made as a gift to him. Sending the Great Lord, such an influential power influenced back by centuries of history. I keep going on to this one because, like, I don't know. I mean, it's the only one that's, like, different like that. At the same time, it feels detailed enough where, like, there could be a contradiction here. I don't really see where I can find any contradictions in any of this evidence, really, though. That's kind of part of the problem I'm having right now. So what do we do? What do we do? By the way, I do want to, I guess since I'm having a little trouble thinking about this, I guess I'll make a note right now that in the very near future, some of these episodes will shrink down to, I don't know what exactly I'm going to do, maybe 30-minute episodes, I guess, maybe? Because I need to focus on Tales of Arise. That's going to be something to happen too. And I want to make sure both of these are going together. 2, I also do need to make sure I don't, like, do hour and a half every single day for Arise and Ace Attorney, because I also need to keep looking for a job, which that is obviously a priority for me right now, that it should be a priority. So I don't want to be using too much extra time of my free time doing that. I'm not entirely sure. Maybe I might even do less than 30 minutes. I mean, who knows? I might even do 25. Just do 25 for each and just be like, hey, boom, done, 25-minute episodes. I don't know. I'm trying to record as many of these as I can while I still have the ability to do these at 45, but
We'll see what happens, but for the moment, just saying that's probably going to be happening in the near future. Maybe 25-minute episodes, maybe 30 minutes. I'm not really sure what's going to happen. Tales of Rise is going to be the same way when that starts getting recorded. And, yeah, just in general, I mean, yeah, it's going to be some fine stuff indeed. And that's going to be a permanent thing, too. Also, Let's Play poll, if you're wondering as well, I'm going to do the same thing I did with, what was the last thing that came out? You know, I don't remember exactly how everything worked out. I'm going to do it the same way I did in Vesperia, I think. I think I did it in Vesperia. I'll have the Let's Play poll come out at the end of Tales of Arise, because once this is over, I'll just let Arise take over solo. And then, basically, the poll will come out after Arise is over, because I want to be sure that I'm not going to keep myself overrun with episodes to do. Especially at a time like this when I do need to be, like I said, need to be focused on getting a job and stuff like that. And I don't want to get that going crazy. And I mean, if I do find a job pretty soon, then, well, I also don't want to be, like, overrunning my, what little free time I got with just, oh, I'm going to record, like, 2 hours of episodes every day on top of, like, work. Oh, boy. Can you imagine that? It'd be too much. But anyway, I'm still having trouble figuring this out. I do not have a gosh dang clue. Doctor's poor eyesight meant he couldn't read anything without these. They were found on his desk. I don't know if that would be anything relating to anything. Oops. Who's Maya Fey? Please tell me, Apollo. Okay. Yeah, none of this tells me literally anything at all. What could it be? I don't really know at all. I don't got a clue what's gonna go on today. I don't see anything in that picture at all that might contradict anything here. Coffee bar, bookshelf, indeed. I mean, I just feel like we need to look over everything at least one more time, right? The butterfly embraced the minimum of the favor the orb was bestowed. Offer thy prayers as firm fire. Only then shall the Holy Mother return, descending upon all, and as her glory the founder bestows the greatest power known. I mean, part of me kind of wants to present this to this, because it almost kind of sounds like the freaking... It almost sounds like the Song Ceremony a little bit. It's a little similar. Maybe not exactly the same, but kind of similar. I don't know if I want to do that. Helicopter drone operated by the doctor's kit equipped with a Karen microphone. There's a report on the research in the Founder's Orb. I think I need to take a shot. I think I need to take a shot at this, and I don't know.
Objection!
Wow. See, that Maya Fey had the crystal made for your ancestor. I didn't think that was going to work like that, but okay. So am I to assume it was made in Japan?
That's right, the craftsmanship is unbeatable.
Well, that's strange. I don't see how your so-called crystal could have been made there.
What are you talking about?
It's quite obvious if you take a closer look at this. Oh my gosh, I see it. I literally see it.
Take that!
Jeez Louise. Take a look at this distinctive design here, according to Dr. Buff. It's a minimum motif dating back to the early days of the Kingdom of Khura'in.
The Kingdom of Khura'in, And you base this on?
Here, this piece of evidence, Your Honor. These are the doctor's research notes on the Founder's Orb. This is the box in which the orb was originally stored. These are the same pattern as the one found in the orb. Yeah, that's exactly what I noticed right there. It was like, what the heck, man?
They do look like the same pattern.
That's because they are the same pattern. Therefore, I assert that disputed item must have been made in the Kingdom of Khura'in.
Ah! Eek, my place card!
Objection!
Khura'in channeling technique originated in the Kingdom of Khura'in. And Maya Fey is known to have traveled there to train. With that in mind, what's to say she didn't bring that pattern back with her?
Objection!
But since this is clearly a Khura'inese design, not even you can deny the possibility that it was made there, in the Kingdom of Khura'in.
Objection!
Anything's possible to some extent. That doesn't make it true. So you can't conclude that the orb is from Khura'in based solely on that pattern. If it were that simple, I could just easily say it's Japanese. Whoa. This is getting intense.
I have to agree with Mr. Wright. The pattern alone proves nothing. But that also means there's no basis to claim the item is in dispute was made in Japan either. At this rate, we're going nowhere fast.
Ah, he's right. We're just spinning our wheels here. I wonder if we have any evidence that could break this stalemate. Evidence could break this stalemate. Do we have anything at all? I honestly don't know if we do. I'll say it does not exist. There doesn't seem to be anything we can use, at least not at this point. Well, unless we can find something, this trial won't be going anywhere. He's sweating.
Phew, that's much better.
What's his deal? I have a suggestion. Okay, Simon Blackwell. Why don't we... I'm kidding. Why don't we consider this from a different angle? I'm listening. What if the Fine Dragons really were authorized to take possession of the relic?
I'm afraid I don't know where you're going with this, Mr. Wright.
Consider the orb transfer agreement, which states, I agree to hand over the Founder's Orb to the Fine Dragons if I would come to no harm. What if, as that last part suggests, this was written under duress? That would render this agreement null and void. What are you suggesting, Mr. Wright? While you were on your little cave expedition, I was investigating Dr. Buff's accident. And there was something you overlooked, Mr. Justice. Namely, that his accident might have actually been murder. Ooh. What? Murder?
Mr. Wright, you do realize such statements are not to be made lightly. Are you suggesting that the doctor was murdered by the Defiant Dragons?
Yes, but follow me on this for a sec. Books that came tumbling down were from the archaeology shelf. However, among the amount of books was a single volume on psychology. What's more, there was some blood on it. And you feel this is important because the books that came tumbling down were from the top shelf, the archaeology books. We're just gonna turn this into a murder trial right now. Is that what's just going on? I swear, man. We know this because the doctor's books were meticulously organized by subject. Archaeology took up the entire shelf, so that psychology book is completely out of place. Come to think of it, the shelves were arranged quite carefully. It's also worth noting that psychology books only take up a tiny part of the bottom shelf. You might wonder why a book on psychology was found amid the pile of archaeology books, but I believe I can explain what that single out-of-place book was doing there. The doctor was struck from behind while selecting a psychology book from the shelf. And that's when the blood got in the book? Precisely. To make it look like an accident. He was buried under a mountain of archaeology books.
Objection!
Wait a second, this is all just speculation, right? Or do you have proof that it was murder? Of course I do. He's literally just gonna play the role of prosecutor right now and turn this into a murder trial, okay. You do? On a hunch, I had Detective Sky examine the doctor's head wound. She found that he'd been struck by the corner of some object or another. Wait, what? Looked like that couldn't have resulted from a fall to the floor, you know. Well, I mean, if he landed on a book, he could have. I mean, you never know. Or whatever struck him. I mean, he could have just landed on it. Do you understand what this means, Mr. Justice? The wound makes it crystal clear that Dr. Buff was murdered. What? Well, that was unexpected. Who would thought we'd break out of the stalemate like this? He pulled the ladder right out from under us. So if he thinks that's enough to make me back down, he's got another thing coming. Even if the cause of death was murder, what makes you think it was the Defiant Dragons? You should know better than to hurl baseless accusations.
Objection!
Did you forget who you were up against, Mr. Justice? Huh? You didn't actually think I'd come to court without witnesses and evidence, did you? What are you talking about? I'd like to request further testimony from the plaintiffs. Specifically, I would like the court to hear how he saw one of the rebels leaving the crime scene. He saw what? Whoa. Can't believe he actually saw someone. If he can prove it was murder, that's the end of our client's right to the orb. Did he have this up his sleeve the whole time? How could Mr. Wright do this to us? He was just waiting to spring this trap. He's never that savvy whenever going up against prosecutors, I swear. Heh. This trial has taken another unexpected turn. But I must mention, Mr. Wright, that you have yet to identify the murder weapon. The object used to commit the murder weapon was not located at the scene of the crime. Murderer likely disposed of it elsewhere. Dr. Buff's autopsy report added to the court record. Man, Phoenix Wright updating the autopsy report, I see. Oh boy. I didn't read that. Well, I never thought we'd be deliberating the issue of murder at a civil trial. Oh, what are you surprised about at this point, frickin' judge? I swear. Let's see. Time of death, May 15, 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Cause of death, cerebral hemorrhaging after being struck on the back of the head with the corner of an unidentified object. Struck with the corner of some object. The time of death is between 10 and 11 p.m. You got it. All right, Mr. Atishon Wimperson. Your testimony, if you please. I'm back, baby. I prepare to be dazzled. Dazzled by charismatic oration, forged in the crucible of campaign battles. Using some big words there, good sir. Witness testimony, the rebel's crime. That evening, I was walking alone, lost in thought. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Arball. He was running out at the front door. It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime. A vote from me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you. How are you going to end that violence? Are you going to enact the DC Act again? This time here? So the plaintiff saw a possible suspect fleeing from the doctor's residence. It was within the window of the estimated time of death. Excuse me. ... That's our ball. What in the world were you doing there, then? Study photo updated in the court record. Atishon saw Dats fleeing the scene the night of the murder. One of the books is steamed with coffee. It seems Mr. Arball was loitering about Khura'in village that day. Anything else get updated, or was it just the image? Or just the description, not the image, I mean. Let's see. There's evidence he was in the doctor's study as well. Isn't that right, Mr. Justice? Ah! You mean the suitcase? Oop, that was Phoenix's voice. Exactly, he must have been in quite the rush to leave that not behind. Oh, and by the way, Your Honor, Mr. Arball just so happens to be sitting in the gallery today. Ack! See, that's him trying to escape as we speak.
Bailiff, don't let that man get away.
Right, you backstabber, why are you doing this to me? Aw, man.
Alright, the counsel/defense may question the plaintiff/witness once more. Ahem, please proceed, Mr. Justice.
Well, that's a thing anyway. So they suspect that's our ball to be the murderer? Okay. We'll see about that. We shall see. The rebel's crime.
That evening I was walking alone, lost in thoughts. Oh boy, yes I was indeed. And that's why you need to save this game right this moment, good sir.
There we go. Done. Game saved.
Hold it!
Why were you taking a walk?
Society is inundated with serious problems that must be solved, and as a politician, I'm always on the job thinking hard about possible solutions even on my walks.
Thanks for the non-answer.
While we live out of our comfy lives, there are starving children who suffer in the back alleys of our major cities. It's not in me to ignore such suffering. A vote for me is a vote to end hunger and for world peace.
Yes, Mr. Atishon Wimperson, we are well aware of your outstanding character. Now please continue with your testimony.
Can practically hear my poll numbers surging. Now on with my speech. After all, the voting public must be informed of the magnificence that is me. Indeed. I passed by the doctor's house, and that's when I saw Mr. Arball.
Where exactly were you when you saw Mr. Arball?
Right here, under this tree. Well, that kind of checks out, I guess. Ooh, excuse me. I saw him dashing out of Dr. Buff's front door.
Uh-huh. And he didn't notice you?
No, I was hidden by the tree. Is it really all important to know from where the plaintiff saw Mr. Arball?
Yes, it is. Yes, I believe it matters a lot. I ask that it please be added to the witness's testimony.
I was under this tree when I saw Mr. Arball.
Hold it!
What were you doing under that tree?
A lack of lateral thinking. That is a politician's downfall.
What?
That is why, if I am elected, I promise to think outside the box.
Question was, what were you doing under the tree, Mr. Atishon Wimperson?
I suppose I can't expect a plebeian such as yourself to understand my grand design.
Oh yeah, try me, O Lord of Plebes. Mr. Atishon Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your grand political vision. Now let's have the rest of your testimony, if you please.
I can hardly wait for the upcoming election.
Yeah, I bet you can.
He was running out of the front door.
Oh, I bet he was running out the back door. You notice anything unusual?
Yes, his behavior was incredibly suspicious. His eyes were darting all around as he ran off in total panic. As soon as I saw that, I knew he had done something, and it probably wasn't good.
Despite that, you still didn't report to the police.
Who would have thought that he killed Dr. Buff? Not me, that's why I didn't report him.
What are you friggin'... What the frig are you talking about?
The witness didn't notify the police. Is that an important statement, Mr. Justice?
Yes, it is. Absolutely, it's super important. Yes, it's important. I request that the witness add it to his testimony.
Sure, why not? I had no idea that Dr. Buff is dead. That's why I didn't call the police.
Okay. Okay, well, I already know what to present here. Well, I think I know what to present here anyway. You had no idea he was dead. In other words, you knew nothing about what had happened.
I am truly ashamed of myself.
What?
There's been a gruesome murder in my beloved village. What a fool I've been. I was thinking only of the village's future and world peace. Seems my earnest attitude and industrious nature have come back to haunt me.
Only a politician would try to pass off self-aggrandizement as self-deprecation. Apollo, you think this is all how all politicians will be from now on? We're all doomed if they are.
If you don't mind, I'd like to continue with my testimony.
Yeah, please do.
It was around 10 at night. Surely that must have been him fleeing the scene of the crime.
At the time, he didn't know the doctor was dead. Is that correct?
It's true that I've been known as a prodigy from a very young age.
Huh?
Oh, excuse me. I graduated high school and college with exceptional grades as class president. I reformed stale old school traditions. My exploits were even covered in local papers. But as exceptional as I am, I can't possibly be expected to know everything at all times.
This isn't working. He keeps bending the questions to serve his own needs.
Hang in there, Apollo!
Mr. Atishon Wimperson, I believe the court is well aware of your exceptional nature. Now, would you please continue with your testimony?
Have the upcoming election in the bag.
Sure you do.
A vote for me is a vote to end such violence. That is my promise to you.
You can't make promises like that. So how do you actually intend to end such violence?
This is pointless questioning, but okay. Elite politicians such as myself never reveal their strategies. Did you really think I would divulge such sensitive information to the likes of you?
Yeah, but surely you have some sort of campaign platform you're running on.
No comment.
Clearly, his is a platform told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. He said he saw Dats from under the tree. If that's true, then...
Did you figure something out?
Yeah, I think he's hiding something. Take another look at the evidence, Athena. Okay, anyway, easy one. Okay, so this one... It's kind of really a matter of whether we present this one or that one. I don't think it's anything else, anyway. Oh, I hope it's this one. I mean, I really hope it's both of them. It makes so much sense, you know? It's like, how could you not see him, man? Like, literally how... Wait, is that a bush? I'm saying like a tree, and like the tree is way higher than necessary. It wouldn't make any sense, so it doesn't mention anything about a bush outside the window. It's so weird. Alright, anyway, this?
Objection!
Okay, thank you. Mr. Atishon Wimperson, rather than Mr. Arbal. Wasn't there something else that should have had your undivided attention?
Like what? Oh yes, of course. A politician must also keep his finger on the electorate's pulse, and focus on the something. What was that something exactly? Focus on the nations. Also, excuse me. Excuse me.
Sorry, but you're way off.
I am. Would you care to explain, Mr. Justice?
The witness saw Mr. Arbol from his position here. Then he should have also been able to see the doctor's body. After all, it's right next to a huge window. Why, I believe you have a point there. With a body that clearly visible to the witness, it's unthinkable that he wouldn't have reported to the police. Ah. Would the witness care to respond? Is he sleeping? Did he fall asleep? Oh, Mr. Atishon Wimperson. He's on the campaign trail so much that he freaking falls asleep. Jeez. Mr. Atishon Wimperson! Huh? Oh, there are many sides to any issue. What did I ever do to deserve this? In any case, I'd like the court to acknowledge the inconsistency in the witness's testimony. Mr. Atishon Wimperson, do you really see Mr. Arbol? Yes. There's none at the time I said, of course. What the crud? He just seriously just like, I'm gonna walk off now. Bye. Like, okay. Where do you think you're going? Oh, I thought I'd return to my seat seeing as I'd already answered the question. Jeez, this guy, I swear, he's great. It's in some small town hall debate, so you just stay right there until I say we're through. I'll have to run that by my campaign manager before I...
Objection!
Oh, will you shut up already? Glare. Gulp. Mr. Atishon Wimperson, I think it's time for you to come clean. Huh? So does that mean he didn't see Mr. Arbol? As your lawyer, Mr. Atishon Wimperson, I advise you divulge that matter we discussed. Silence is no longer an option. Are you sure about this? I'm in the midst of running for office. I can't afford to let any strange rumors get out. Don't worry, you won't suffer any blowback for what you're about to reveal. Blowback? I'm not sure I like the sound of that, Mr. Wright. Not to worry, Your Honor. Nothing untoward will come of this. Untoward will come of this? What? I promise. Now then, Mr. Justice. Remember how it was an anonymous caller that reported the doctor's death? Oh. Was he the anonymous one? Come to think of it. Yep. Emma, who was the first one to discover the body? About that, whoever it was, it seems they wanted to remain anonymous. What? It happens now and then. Some people would rather not get involved with the police. Wait, you're not saying that. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. The anonymous source who contacted the police after discovering the body was... my client, Mr. Paul Atishon Wimperson. What? You don't say. So you see, he played his part as a concerned citizen quite admirably, if I may say so. Isn't that right? Yes, indeed. In our society today, there are too many who choose indifference over righteous action. But I don't number among them. That's why I did my duty as a concerned citizen. One might call me the model citizen, one worthy of standing above the rest. What a real standard bearer he is, reporting it anonymously. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Justice, wasn't there someone else at the scene of the crime when my client discovered the body? Oh, you mean Mr. Arbol? You would have been leaving the doctor's house right around then. Wait, that means... Yes, it does. In short... What my client witnessed was Mr. Arbol fleeing the scene of a heinous murder. Ah! And that's not all. Based on what we've heard so far, Mr. Arbol looked exceedingly suspicious, and that's putting it mildly. We already know the Defiant Dragons threatened the Doctor with bodily harm. And now they've killed him, the so-called orb transfer agreement is null and void. Ah! Whoa. Apollo, if we don't come up with some sort of counter-argument... And what sort of evidence do you have? Can you actually prove that it was Mr. Arbol who killed the Doctor? That move had desperate written all over it. That's all I've got, so I'm going with it. Evidence.
Suppose it's true that I don't have any.
I knew it. But I do have another witness. You do? You should know I always come fully prepared, Mr. Justice. And my new witness will provide testimony proving Mr. Arbol's guilt. Ugh. A new witness? I wonder who it could be.
Very well, bailiff, please summon our new witness. In the meantime, the court will take a brief recess. I would like both sides to use this time to prepare properly, understood? Oh boy. May 17th. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3. And I think with that, I think that's basically perfect timing. But let's, I think on the next exciting episode, we're going to go ahead and get on to the next part of this trial, I guess. I mean, we're on recess. What will the recess entail for us? What will happen after the recess is over? That's for us to find out, of course. We will find out very soon. So, until then, everyone, I will see you all later. Hope you all have a good one. Let me know what you think about... Honestly, Paul Atishon seems like a funny, random character. I don't know why. Just the fact he just walked off right after saying what he said. Like, what the heck are you doing? I don't even know. This guy is so weird. I hope that's not the end of cross-examining him. I want some more cross-examinations of him. He's just funny. Anyway, everyone, I'll see y'all later. Let me know if you think the same way about that, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye! Hello, everyone. You've reached the end of this video, but before we go for the day, I'd just like to give a quick shout-out to the Tier 4 and 5 channel members, Phoenix Edgeworth, Acheron X2, Menthy, and Meister Papala. Thank you all for being awesome and supporting the channel. If you too would like to also get your name shouted out at the end of each video and live stream, shoutouts are available for all Tier 4 and 5 channel members. I hope you all have an awesome day. I'll see you all later.